We have two divisional matchups, one featuring the return of Joe Burrow and the other with massive consequences for the NFC North, and sandwiched between them, the Chiefs at the Cowboys. Two teams fresh off monster Week 12 wins. Then we get a Black Friday matchup that matters for the order of the NFC playoffs. We better get to it. Happy Thanksgiving. This is The Numbers Game. I'm Cynthia Frelund, and let's break down the first four games of Week 13. I love Thanksgiving. I love cooking and baking, and a holiday where bringing a gift feels like a special treat and not table stakes. I also love that our forefathers, well, they made it on a Thursday, of course, so we get the extra long weekend, and the NFL has given us 3 games to go with our tryptophan, along with an extra helping on Friday. And mostly, I love that we all get to point out the things that we are grateful for. And I am especially grateful for our Numbers Game community. It's so fun interacting with you all and picking games together. I greatly appreciate how we've grown this season, which continues on what we started last season. I can't wait to see where we take this. So thank you so very much. Your time and attention means everything to me. Before we get into Turkey Day action, let's look back at how my model did in Week 12. There were 14 total games, and my results were 11-3 straight up, 5-8-1 against the spread, and 8-6 on totals. That brings my season totals to 65.2% straight up, 49.4 against the spread, we'll get that up, and 54.5 on totals. Starting with the first game of the day, it's between two teams who've met 23 times on Turkey Day, making it the most common Thanksgiving matchup in NFL history. It's Green Bay at Detroit. By the way, this is only the second time in the Super Bowl era that both teams are at least 3 games over 500 in this matchup. The Lions are 12-9-1 all-time against the Packers on Thanksgiving, but the Packers have won 4 of the last 5 Thanksgiving matchups. It's Green Bay at Detroit. Lions are favored by 2.5 points. The total in this one, 49 points. My model says 50 total points, and the Lions win, but only by 2. It's a nightmare situation, kind of. Well, I guess a loss would be a nightmare, so it's just a nail-biter for Lions fans like me. However, let's start with some trivia. Your trivia note for Green Bay. Jordan Love is making his 3rd Thanksgiving start. He is 2-0 on Thanksgiving. With a win, he'd become the first Packers quarterback since 1950 with 3 wins on Thanksgiving Day. Let's start with the Packers offense against the Lions defense. Jordan Love was blitzed on a season-high 57% of his dropbacks in Week 12. That was a win over the Vikings. That is his highest blitz rate faced since Week 14 of last season against who? The Lions, who blitzed him 63% of the time. Remember, the Lions were struggling with injuries at that point too, notably Aiden Hutchinson. So, B-Flow, he's going to blitz. That's the Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator. But I'm pointing this out because I wanted to see how Elton Jenkins being on IR changed the O-line. The Vikings blitz did result in Love facing quick pressure, so in sub 2.5 seconds, on a season-high 22% of his dropbacks. That is his highest quick pressure rate faced since becoming the full-time starter in 2023. Love went 14 of 21 for just 139 yards overall, but averaged more yards per attempt when pressured at 7.8 than when kept clean at 5.8. So the question is, will the Lions be able to effectively pressure Love? Well, I found this stat really interesting about Aiden Hutchinson. Last week in their overtime win against the Giants, he generated 6 pressures on 17 pass rushes, a 35% rate, in the 4th quarter and overtime, including his game-ending sack. However, through the first 3 quarters, he had 2 pressures on 21 pass rushes, which is a 9.5% rate. Now, that game certainly featured the element of surprise and fun, and by that I mean Jameis Winston because he is wild, but overall this season, Hutch's late game pressure rate increase has followed the same pattern. He has 31 pressures in the 4th quarter or later this season, good for a 29% rate, which is not just the highest this season, but would be the highest in the Next Gen Stats era if it holds. On the other side, as in Detroit's offense against Green Bay's defense, I have a similar concern data point to speak to, as in, will Jared Goff have time to operate efficiently behind a banged-up O-line? Against New York's front in Week 12, Goff completed 28 of 42 for 279 yards and 2 touchdowns with an interception overall. However, he finished 16 of 17 for 89 yards and a score, targeting receivers aligned in the backfield. Those 16 completions to receivers coming out of the backfield are tied for the most in a game in the Next Gen Stats era. Green Bay's defense had a 48% pressure rate on J.J. McCarthy last week, which was their 3rd highest rate this season, and their pressure to sack ratio was a billion. They sacked J.J. McCarthy 5 times. Micah Parsons had 3 pressures, which 2 of them resulted in sacks. And he's now tracking at 10 sacks on the season, making his 5th season of double-digit sacks. And it wasn't just Parsons. 5 different defenders had multiple pressures, with defensive tackle Warren Brinson leading the way with 5 pressures, and he also earned half a sack. Bottom line, I have the Lions evening out the season series with the Packers this year. Remember, in week 1, they lost in Green Bay, and now I have them winning at home 26-24. The Packers defense is the main driver of my close score. This is a higher than expected score, as the Packers have allowed fewer than 21 points in 4 straight games, which means my model gives the edge to the balance in the Lions' run and pass potential over the Packers' stingy defense. Detroit's defense also forecast to be able to get Jordan Love out of the pocket enough to give the team the edge. When Love has passed from the pocket, his passer rating is 105.7, completion percentage 71%. He has 12 touchdowns with only 1 interception. When he's been forced out of the pocket, passer rating is 81.9, completion percentage 51%, and 3 touchdowns with 2 interceptions. And by the way, all 3 of those touchdowns have been on designed rollouts. And just so you have it, I modeled it with Josh Jacobs and with Emmanuel Wilson, and it doesn't change the point totals when you round the numbers. The Lions' run defense has allowed just 101.7 rushing yards per game, the 11th fewest, and no individual rusher has had 85 or more yards against them on the ground. I'm not going to do good for 6 this episode. Why? Because I'm really mean. Just kidding. Instead, we're going to do 3 stat snacks for each game. This is going to be the only thing you consume on Thanksgiving that has no calories. So here we go. Let's do the stat snacks for Green Bay at Detroit. Number 1. I pretty much feel like a broken record about a Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown, and I do have that happening in 72% of simulations. But how about we add a little Amon-Ra St. Brown to have at least 7 receptions? He only needs 6 to pass Michael Thomas for the most in the first 5 seasons of a player's career all time. Michael Thomas has 510. Number 2, Jared Goff to pass for at least 239 yards. In their week 1 loss, there weren't a lot of highlights for the Lions, but Goff did go 9 of 10 for 86 yards under center on play-action passes. All 3 of the Lions, Packers, and Lions matchups where Jeff Hafley has been the defensive coordinator, this has been a key part of the Lions' game plan. The Packers have allowed a 91 completion percentage to the Lions on such passes. With Dan Campbell calling plays, getting and staying in rhythm will be more likely, and it's a huge key to this game. Number 3, Christian Watson to have at least 48 receiving yards. In the 2 2024 matchups, he was targeted 13 times and hauled in 6 passes for 132 yards against the Lions' man defense. That is a 65% target rate. And going back another season to 2023, Watson had a 65% target rate when Detroit played man. When facing any other opponent's man defense, Watson's target rate is just 27%. Also, I will say this year could be different though, because since Tucker Kraft was lost for the season, Watson leads the team with a 27% target share against man coverage, and that has resulted in 5 receptions for 65 yards with 2 touchdowns. I don't know if you've noticed it yet, but I've added some trivia to the show, because who couldn't use a few extra conversation starters on a family holiday? Am I right? I know I could. Next trivia note here is about the Lions, who played the most Thanksgiving Day games with 85. This will be their 86th. But who is the team who's played the 3rd most Thanksgiving Day games? I'll wait. It's the Packers, and they're playing in their 39th game on Thanksgiving Day. The team who's number 2, super obvious. It's the Cowboys. This will be their 58th all-time matchup on the holiday, and this year they host the Chiefs. The Chiefs, who are favored on the road by 3 points. The total in this one is set for 52.5. My model says Chiefs win by 4, 28-24. Starting with the Chiefs offense against the Cowboys defense, I think you know where I'm going to start here because I love O-lines. And if right guard Trey Smith is going to miss some time, we're going to talk about pressure. Patrick Mahomes has completed just 38% of his passes under pressure. That's 3rd lowest in the league. He completes 72% of his passes when not under pressure, which is 15th highest. Looking at what happens when Mahomes is pressured from the defensive interior specifically, he's completed 37.5% of his passes, the 3rd lowest rate. He's averaged 6.2 yards per attempt, the 18th fewest. He's only faced interior pressure on 14% of his dropbacks, though. That's the 10th lowest rate in the league. Cowboys defensive tackles Quinnen Williams and Osa Odigizua have generated 22 pressures and 8 quick pressures in just their last 2 games. Now, both of which lead all defensive tackle duos over that span, but also they have converted pressures to sacks at a 16% rate in those 2 games. On the other side of this matchup, so Dallas's offense against Kansas City's defense, Dak Prescott has used play action on a career-high 29% of his dropbacks. That's 7th highest in the league. He has an 80% completion percentage when he uses it. That's 2nd highest. And he's averaged 9.4 yards per attempt, 4th most, along with 12 touchdowns. That's 2nd most. This figures to be a source of success for the Cowboys, as the Chiefs have allowed a league-high 79% completion percentage and 10.2 yards per attempt, the 4th most, to quarterbacks on play-action passes. Bottom line, I have Kansas City winning by 4 points, which is more than 3, on the road in Dallas, 28-24. 2 things drive this number. First, the Chiefs' defense has just a 9.2 missed tackle rate this season. That's 3rd lowest in the league. Their tackling efficiency has limited opponents to just 318 yards after missed tackles, 3rd fewest. Kansas City defenders have also successfully converted 81% of their first tackle opportunities. That's 4th highest league-wide. So maybe they could allow a receiver to catch maybe even a play action ball, but the extra yards and especially big plays are very limited. Second, Andy Reid has designed plays where Patrick Mahomes has asked his receivers to get him yak, and they've delivered. Yards after the catch accounts for 57% of Mahomes' total passing yards. That's the 7th highest share this season. One of the ways this is happening is Mahomes is targeting pass catchers behind the line of scrimmage on 25% of his attempts. That's the 4th highest rate in the league. And it has resulted in the most completions at 88 and yards at 516. Let's do our 3-stat snack for Thanksgiving game number 2. That's the Chiefs at the Cowboys. Number 1, Xavier Worthy's longest reception to be for at least 18 yards. Now, we talked about yak, but also on deep receptions alone, the Cowboys have allowed a league-high 740 yards and 9 touchdowns on 20 receptions, which is the 2nd most in the NFL. Their 19 yards per target allowed on 20-plus air yard passes would be the 3rd most by any defense in a season since 2016. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes to have at least 22 rushing yards. So you have good pressure up front, but some less stout second-level defenders against a guy who has an 18% scramble rate and a 9% scramble run rate, aka career highs. Okay, so you have the full stat on this. He has 557 yards off of scrambles overall, but 317 of them have been rushing yards, which is the 2nd most in the league. Number 3, CeeDee Lamb to score a touchdown. It would be much safer to say his longest catch will be for at least 26 yards. By the way, that's happened in all but 1 game that he's played in this season, but the underlying metrics forecast Lamb for the kind of game that we are used to from him. So at least 7 receptions and no drops. Further, Trent McDuffie for the Chiefs is having himself a season. He's allowing just 5.1 yards per target in coverage. That's 4th fewest among 87 quarterbacks who've been targeted at least 30 times. He hasn't allowed 40 yards to a pass catcher this season. He's the only guy that can say that, who's played at least 10 coverage snaps. And we know that Lamb has usually been in the slot and George Pickens out wide. McDuffie has spent most of his time against the top target for the other team. So does Spags go with Lamb or does he go with Pickens? Remember, Pickens has about 5 inches on McDuffie. Pickens 6'3", McDuffie's 5'10". Spags loves to use outside press. He's done it 48% of the time this season, and they're usually top in the league. They've been top in the league in this metric in 6 of the past 7 seasons. Now, Pickens has been targeted 29 times against outside press. His league high 347 yards with 2 touchdowns against it, and a 10% explosive play rate. That's 4th highest. I believe we see Lamb with more space that he needs to operate effectively in this one. My whole point here is that Lamb is going to have more favorable opportunities, meaning a trip to the end zone. How lucky are we that Turkey Day concludes with an AFC North matchup where Joe Burrow is making his return. It's Cincinnati at Baltimore, the home team, the Ravens. They are favored by a touchdown, 7 points, and the total in this one is 51.5. My model says an 8-point win for Baltimore, 30-22. Okay, so here's your trivia note here. In 7 meetings between Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, Cincinnati and Baltimore have combined for 53.9 points per game. That is 2nd most among active quarterbacks to make more than 5 starts against each other. Let's start with the Bengals offense against the Ravens defense. So far this season, Jamar Chase has caught just 3 of 13 deep targets for 117 yards and a touchdown. That is on pace to be his lowest catch rate of his career on such targets. That is a 23% catch rate. I am mostly trying to make a point that things forecast to be a lot more exciting for him now that Joe Burrow is back, especially because the Ravens have generated pressure at the fifth lowest rate this season, just 29.4% of the time. And when they've gotten pressure, they've converted just 14.1% of those opportunities into sacks, which is the fourth lowest mark in the league. As for Baltimore's offense against Cincinnati's defense, let's talk about some usage things here. As in, the Ravens have used 12 personnel, so 1 running back and 2 tight ends, at the second highest rate, 38% of the time. But they've averaged just 5.5 yards per play when they've done so. That is a mark just slightly above league average. League average is 5.3. Last year, the Ravens paced the league, averaging 7.7 yards per play out of 12, which was 1.2 more yards than the next closest team. And they used it at the 6th highest rate. This forecast to be a very good outcome game for 12 personnel, as the Bengals have allowed the 4th most yards per play with 6.5 and the highest success rate to it at 52.1%. Bottom line, I have an 8-point win for Baltimore, 30-22. The run game is the deal sealer. The Bengals have contacted opposing running backs behind the line of scrimmage on a league low 35% of rush attempts, and they have the second lowest run stuff rate at 12%. They've also allowed 1,059 rushing yards after contact to running backs. That's second most in the league. Which brings us to our stat snacks for this game, Cincinnati at Baltimore. Number 1, Derrick Henry to score a touchdown anytime. By the way, he now has 665 rushing yards after contact this season, which is 6th most. Number 2, Joe Burrow to pass for at least 260 yards. I know T. Higgins being out is a big loss, but the game script and low pressure rate from the Ravens has Burrow reaching at least 280 passing yards in 60% of my simulations. Number 3, a Jamar Chase touchdown. I know Chase could see a healthy dose of Nate Wiggins, who's doing well this season with the 5th lowest passer rating allowed in coverage by corners, but since Chase was drafted by the Bengals in 2021, on quick passes alone, so sub 2.5 seconds, he and Joe Burrow have connected for 2,621 yards on them. That is 388 more than the next closest duo. And by the way, the 22 touchdowns that they've scored off of them is tied for the most. I have a confession about Black Friday. First off, your girl loves a deal. You can ask my best friend. Steph will tell you. You can ask Colleen Wolfe. We all talk about all of this. We have full text chains about great deals. But I cannot stand shopping on Black Friday. I think it is a lot of stress. I forget what I need. I think it is a trick to make people buy more. Second, I'm convinced I'm not getting the best price, and it makes me comparison shop way too much, and then I get super overwhelmed and abandon the whole effort. I do love buying gifts though, so it used to be a really annoying day for me. In other words, I am especially glad to have a game and have to work and stay away from all of that chaos. This year, the Bears at Eagles will be assuaging my Black Friday anxiety. Chicago travels to Philadelphia, where the home team is favored by 7 points, and the total in this one is 44.5. My model says an 8-point win for Philadelphia, 28-20. The trivia note here is about these teams being feisty. The Eagles committed a season-high 14 penalties in Week 12's loss at Dallas. That is the most penalties in a single game for Philadelphia since 2021. And overall, the Bears, with 26 more penalties than their opponents, and the Eagles, who have 20 more penalties committed than their opponents, rank 1 and 2 in penalty differential. The Bears' offense against the Eagles' defense is where we will start. Caleb Williams has taken just 17 sacks, which is an average of 1.5 per game, tied for the 5th fewest in the NFL, after being the most sacked player last season with 68. Last week against the Steelers, with his starting left tackle, Theo Benedette, inactive, Williams' average time to throw was 2.68 seconds. That's his second fastest of the season, and actually his second game averaging under 3 seconds for his time to throw. He went 11 of 17 for 156 and a touchdown on those passes for a 9.2 yard per attempt average. On passes thrown in longer than 2.5 seconds, he went 8 of 17 for 83 yards, which was just 4.9 per, but he did have 2 touchdowns off of them. The Eagles defense has allowed 11 passing touchdowns, which is tied for the 4th fewest, and a whole bunch of guys with their names beginning with a J are problematic up front. Jalen Phillips is tied for 8th in pressures with 17 since being added to the Eagles roster in Week 10, along with 4 sacks. Jalen Carter is tied for the 2nd most quick pressures among defensive tackles with 12, and Jalix Hunt leads the team with 42 pressures, 2 of which have resulted in sacks. My notes on Philadelphia's offense against Chicago's defense also feature an offensive lineman, as in the missing Lane Johnson, who is out. Jalen Hurts has taken just 2 sacks in the last 3 games after averaging taking 2.8 per game in weeks 1 through 10. The Bears, their defense has just a 29.5 pressure rate this season. That is 6th worst. However, a familiar face for the Eagles, Montez Sweat, does lead Chicago with 7.5 sacks, and he has 5 career sacks against the Eagles from his time at Washington. However, if the Bears want to pull off the upset, it will be because they've caused turnovers. Jalen Hurts has just 1 interception this season, which leads the league. However, the Bears pace the NFL with 16 interceptions and have 3 players in the top 5 individually. It's a bit all or nothing for them in this regard, though, because the gambling either pays off for a pick or allows opponents to score. Chicago has given up tied for the 3rd most passing touchdowns this season at 22, and Jalen Hurts has 9 touchdowns with 0 interceptions on downfield passes. In fact, he's the only quarterback to not have an interception on such throws. Bottom line, I have Philly by 8, 28-20. Let's talk Saquon for a second. 27% of his yards have come before contact this year. That number was 41% last season. He's been hit behind the line of scrimmage at the 6th highest rate, 50%. Last year, it was only 38%. I bring this up because last week, we saw the Steelers rush for 146 and 2 touchdowns on 23 outside the tackles carries for a 6.3 yard average and 57% success rate. Between the outside rushing potential and the Eagles' 78% red zone touchdown rate against the Bears' 62% red zone touchdown rate allowed, that is 7th worst, they win by at least 8 points as the most likely outcome in my model. Let's do 3 stat snacks for Chicago at Philadelphia, our Black Friday special. Okay, I have to be cheesy here. These stats are on discount. Get the doorbusters before they disappear. Yeah? Okay, whatever. Number 1, a Saquon Barkley touchdown. Number 2, A.J. Brown to have at least 55 receiving yards. Chicago does look to be getting corners Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson back, or at least it is trending that way. But this Brown number reflects the downfield passing potential from Hurts, and also that is a low number even if they do come back. Number 3, Rome Odunze to have at least 50 receiving yards. I like him for at least 4 receptions as well. Quinyon Mitchell has lined up against a wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2 on over 55% of his snaps for the Eagles this season. He has been extremely tough on his opponents. However, the word "or" is very key. Further, with safety Andrew Mukuba out, they will be adjusting to some new coverages, and Ben Johnson will have a good opportunity to call plays designed for Rome. Those are the picks for Thursday and Friday's games. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family, eat all of the food, watch all of the football, and have so much fun. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. I am so incredibly grateful for all of you. And to close this show, we have a very special guest, the one and only Marianne Frelund. Please enjoy. Well, it's become a Thanksgiving tradition. She's here. She's back. Marianne Frelund. Mom, thank you for hanging out. We all look forward to your football analysis every single Thanksgiving. And we have a really special Thanksgiving this year because a specific team that my mom really likes, and it's not this one, don't ask, but ultimately a team she really likes is playing. So, Mom, are you ready to answer just a few questions about the Thursday and Friday games for Week 13?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So first and foremost, who wins between the Lions and the Packers?
I think the Lions are going to win. I think they're playing in Detroit, and that gives them an advantage. And I think, they've had some rough spots, but I think they're going to go ahead and win this game.
Does the Jared Goff dad content make anything in your mind, like him being this like great dad? Does that like persuade you in favor of the Lions at all?
Well, it makes me like him more, but I don't think that it really favors him. Okay, I think it's the talent of the team.
Okay. Do you know which part of the team specifically?
Amon St. John.
Yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
And Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh, okay. She's out here pulling names out of her hat here.
I know. I like the Lions a lot, and I want them to win, but I also think they will win.
Got it. Do you think that the Packers are good, though?
I do think the Packers are good. It's going to be a great game.
Did you know that the Packers defensive coordinator, he used to be the head coach at Boston College?
I did not know that.
Yeah, Jeff Hafley. Mm-hmm.
We love Boston College here, but I just think that,
even with Micah, you're not worried at all about the offensive line with Micah Parsons. And
Micah Parsons is so good. And I did watch,
Okay. You
I
just have a
think
feeling.
it's the Lions.
Got it. You have a feeling.
And,
We're into
and
it.
how they play and their coach. I love their coach so much.
Yeah.
He's so good and he motivates them.
Do you have did you ever try to motivate me like that?
No, because you were always highly motivated in school. You were. I didn't have to. You wanted to. She always wanted to do well and whatever she did.
I'm a people pleaser. We know that a little bit.
Yeah. But you were still motivated.
I was a good student.
Excellent student.
Okay, so we're going to save the Dallas game for last because we want to talk about a little bit about Joe Burrow's return. It's a division game. It's a big deal. This division isn't won yet. It's not signed and sealed and delivered. We have, I guess, I mean, look, it's going to be hard for anyone but for the Bengals to make any sort of comeback, but they could really cause a problem for the Ravens, right? So
absolutely,
Ravens are at home. The Cincinnati Bengals are on the road. Joe Burrow returns. Jamar Chase returns. I know you have some thoughts on that, but we were no T. Higgins though, because he has a concussion.
Yep,
He's
I read
out
that
with the game. So how do you kind of see this one playing out?
Well, I'm glad that Joe Burrow's coming back, but it's his first game back. He's been out for several months. And I think no T. Higgins, even though he has Jamar Chase. And I have to say, their defense has not improved that much at all during the year.
No. Okay. It maybe gotten worse, probably.
I didn't want to say that.
Trying to be nice?
I was trying to be nice.
I do that too. It doesn't always work.
They're not good.
No.
And so I think that the Ravens will win.
Okay.
Those are the reasons.
Are you not at all worried about the Ravens? They kind of looked they came out a little flat last week.
Yes.
Did you watch the beginning of that?
I did.
Game?
I watched some of it. I do. I know, but they still have a good team. And they're going to be motivated because they want to win that division. So and it's at home. I always give the home team a little bit of more of an advantage.
Okay. Well, I have a question for you about some things to do with that later.
Okay.
So you're Chiefs.
I am a Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Tell them why. Tell them why you like the Chiefs.
I love Patrick Mahomes.
Why?
I think he's a winner. I think he always presents himself. He never talks badly about anyone, not other teams, not other players. He's a class act, and I adore him.
Okay. Did you tell people before what you say about him sometimes? Oh,
absolutely. He's my grandson.
Which would imply what?
That you're his mom.
I am not his mom.
But it's, that's just a side story.
She would like to adopt him.
I would love to adopt Patrick Mahomes II. Drafted in 2017 in the 10th pick in the 2017 NFL draft. The Kansas City Chiefs select Patrick Mahomes, then you pause, II.
I want to know what you saw from that Colts game was a big deal.
It was a huge deal. It was a huge deal. They had to win it. Their backs were against the wall.
And then what happened?
And give
me your analysis. What did you see when you watched it? I know she watched every snap, probably a few times.
Anyway, okay. I have to say, the first play that Patrick threw the ball, he threw an interception. And that was tough. It was tough to watch because that was one of the things they were trying to work on not to do.
Right, turning the ball over. No team wants that. Nobody wants to do that.
Right. So anyway, so they did it. And the whole game, they were losing until we got to the end of the game and we tied it up.
Okay, so let's go. I'm going to ask you some specific questions.
Please do.
Okay. So what did the defense do to really kind of limit the offense from the Colts? Because I mean, if you're holding, the Colts were scoring over 30 points a game.
Yes, they were.
Okay, so you really held them 10 points under at about.
And they got all over Jonathan Taylor.
Great.
They limited him.
Yep.
And that was one of their things they wanted to do. They also wanted to have no penalties. That was another big goal that they want. They didn't achieve that.
It's very hard to achieve that.
I know. But that was their goal because they had so many the week before.
Mm-hmm.
And they looked like terrible, just terrible. So they limited their penalties. Mm-hmm. They stopped Jonathan Taylor. Mm-hmm. And the defense came to play. Mm-hmm. Chris Jones, he was the heart of the defense.
Yeah.
So
what's his number?
95.
She's good with it. Okay, so on the other side, what about Rashee Rice? What did he do?
Oh, great. He he ran for 145 yards.
141.
Sorry.
No, it's great.
141 yards.
141 receiving yards, yep.
And they needed that. They also really need a running back. So I'm hoping that next year that the coach is listening and
I'm sure he is,
that they get a running back because their run game is not strong. They have good runners. I love Kareem Hunt. Do not get me wrong. And I like, they have Clyde Edward-Helaire right now, and they have the guy, Isaiah Pacheco. But they need a strong running back.
Okay.
So that's one of their deficits.
Well, Patrick Mahomes ran for 30 yards.
Right. But they can't.
Maybe we don't have him.
We don't want Patrick Mahomes to have to do that. He carries it when things go wrong. Patrick tries to put the whole team on his back, and that's okay. But they need to be stronger.
Got it. All right. Are you at all worried about the O-line? Because Trey Smith,
yes, is out.
All right. Now let's spin this forward, because the way that numbers game usually works is we say like a reason for this upcoming matchup.
Okay.
Right? So we're going to do, what's the one thing that you're worried about on the offense for the Chiefs?
Well, I'm worried about their offensive line. Two things. Number one, losing Trey Smith is huge. Number two, I worry about Jawan Taylor. He always is making causing a penalty because of the place he positions himself on the line. Mm-hmm. That's a worry. And now he didn't do it this past time, but he got another penalty for something else. Yep. So that worries me about the offense.
All right. What's the thing so I would say that as you're worried about pressure coming through the O-line.
Correct.
Right? Because you know that the Cowboys, they've invested in Quinnen Williams. He's kind of in the middle.
Yeah, he's good.
He's very good.
He came from the Jets.
He did come from the Jets. Did you know he had braces not that long ago too?
Yes, I've seen him smile.
Yeah, he looks like a young kid.
Oh gosh,
like the largest young kid I've ever seen. Right?
I know, he's cute.
He's adorable. So all right, so you got kind of retooled. Demarion Overshown is back to. Anyways, these people are here. They're going to come after Patrick Mahomes.
Absolutely, and
especially going to target where there's no Trey Smith. Right?
And in the last several games, Patrick has been sacked 13 times.
I like that she says it like.
Yeah, so they have got to. I don't know who they're going to put in there, but Andy Reid will do a good job of trying to figure that out.
Yep.
But it doesn't matter. It's someone that is not in that position all the time.
Right. It's you know what coaches say, Mom? They say if the
next man up.
Well, yeah, but they say if the backup were better than the starter, he'd be the starter. Yeah.
Good point. Right.
You know, so that whenever it's a backup, it's tough sledding in.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now on the other side, what are you worried about for Dak Prescott's offense? Like, what's the thing that makes you worried about that?
Okay. First of all, their advantage, I have to step back here, is it's at home. And
no matter what, home stuff.
I do. I think the home team always gets a little bit extra. Why? Because the crowd is there for them. They're not hostile. They're cheering them on. They're trying to pep them up. And
they know when to be quiet. They don't mess up the call.
They don't.
That.
Yeah, they don't do any of that. Okay. So that is a plus. Now, I know that they've gotten some good players from the trade and all that stuff. There's something about the Cowboys. They're like 3-4 in a tie. There's
the close game stats you're talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or their whole. Got it. 4-3-1 or whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, they and now they looked great on Sunday night. I thought they were like, whoa. Mm-hmm. I mean, when they beat the Eagles, they looked fabulous. I mean, they looked like wonderfully. But they don't always play that way. They're up and down.
It's going to be hard for Dak Prescott to overcome the defense. So his defense gives up just a lot of yards.
Yes, they do.
The front has gotten better. So in the past few games, it has gotten better. So it hasn't become such an issue. But it's very true that defense can give up. I mean, you saw A.J. Brown.
Yes.
He still had a good game.
Yes, he did.
Despite them not winning. And Devontae Smith had some nice catches as well.
Yes, he did. Yes.
Yeah. But it's going to be an interesting matchup. Because the trenches, to me, are where it's all going to be won. So is the Chiefs' front defensive front going to come to play like they did against the Colts? Or we've seen some other games where
I know they're not playing. I mean, they don't
it's not as effective.
Right. They're not as effective, especially when they played Denver. They were not.
Right.
They looked bad.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah. So, okay. So who wins this game?
This is really hard for me. It really is hard for me. I'm going to go with my beloved Kansas City Chiefs.
Do you have like a score?
Oh, no. Okay. I don't know.
Do they win by a touchdown? Do they win by 3 points? Do they win by...
I'm going to go 3 points.
3 points. So a nail biter.
A nail biter. Oh, everything. If you watch the Chiefs over the years, they are a nail biting team.
Okay.
Remember, they won that one Super Bowl. I can't remember the year. 7 seconds they had through their last play. Mm-hmm. All right. To McCall Hartman. Mm-hmm. And I call those nail biters.
Yeah, no, that's a nail biter.
Yes.
I'm with you on that. Okay. So you have a field goal win for the Chiefs in Dallas.
Absolutely.
What's your margin for the Lions against the Packers at home?
I'm going to say
6 points.
6.
Okay. I'm leading the witness.
Yeah, that's okay. But 6 is, I'm fair with that. Okay. That's fair.
What about Baltimore hosting Cincinnati?
Well, this is tough because
what's the margin?
Okay. I'm going to say 9.
In favor of the Ravens?
Yeah.
Ravens by 9. Okay. She wants a blowout. I like it.
Well, their defense isn't very good.
No. I'm not questioning your reasoning.
Okay.
I'm just reacting because I like it. I like the energy.
Yes.
So let's do the Black Friday game, and then I have some overall questions for you.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So Bears and the Eagles.
All right. This is tough too. The Bears have had 2 winning streaks of 4 games each.
Yeah, that's why they got to 8.
That's how they got to 8. The Eagles, because of Sunday night and
there's recency bias. Yes,
the Eagles look terrible. I don't want to say that too loud. They looked awful.
What do you think is going to happen? They're going to come get you?
No, but
they're going to send Swoop to come get you. Their mascot, Swoop's coming.
Swoop's coming. But they look so bad, and they have been up and down because I have seen them play like Super Bowl champs they were, and I've also seen them play like the lowest in their division.
They're not playing worse than the Giants.
That's true. Well, all right, one up.
Sometimes they do. Okay,
but they did.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, all right. So, oh boy, I am going to go with, and they're playing in Chicago, right?
Let's look that up. I'm pretty sure. I'm 99% sure that it's in Philadelphia. Oh. It's in Philadelphia. In Philadelphia.
All right. So, with that being in Philadelphia, I'm going to say the Eagles win.
By how much?
6.
Okay. Do you think that, like, are you happy for the Bears because now they're getting better, or are you like, screw that, he left the Lions?
No, I'm not that way.
You're not a Lions fan anymore.
I like the Lions. I still really like them. Okay. But here's the deal. This is the coach's first year.
Yep.
And he's doing great. I don't think, because Philadelphia is they're all tough places, but they're an extremely tough place. They are very tough,
yes.
And
they boo Santa Claus. They hate everything.
Yeah, and everyone.
They do.
They hate everyone and everything, unless you're an Eagles fan and you're in that stadium. So that's why I think they're going to win.
Okay. All right. Who's the best team in football right now? Like, if the Super Bowl are played today,
oh my God, we've been talking about this all evening.
I know.
And
that's why I was asking. I thought you had a good answer. That's why I'm bringing it up here.
I know. I think the Rams are going to win. I do. Here's the deal. Do I want the Rams to win? Look, Matt Stafford used to be a Lion. He's a gunslinger. I think he's great. But who do I really want to step forward? Of course, are the Chiefs. But I just think. Right.
I'm just asking you who you think the best team in football is right now.
I do.
Okay. All right. And then, so the NFC, that's where the Rams come from. Yes. The AFC, the Chiefs come from. So do you think it's Chiefs-Rams Super Bowl? Or do you think that there's another team in the AFC that might make it to the Super Bowl?
I think there's a couple teams.
Which ones?
I think the Broncos have a chance. This all pains me, too, to say. I need to say it, though. I think the Broncos have.
You like the Broncos? We like all teams.
I think
you don't. They're a Chiefs rival. We get it.
right, but they're good. They're really
very good. Yes.
Yeah, and they have a good defense.
Mhm.
And we all know in the old days, defenses always won the game.
Yes, defenses win championships.
They do. They do. So that's why I say that. And I watched them play the Chiefs a few weeks ago, and I know they only won by 3, but they looked really good. They looked good.
You're not worried about Bo Nix at all?
Yeah, I'm worried about him, but not. He's got, if you're surrounded by great people, that lifts you up too.
Motivational speaker here. What's the other team that you think? So Broncos, who else?
Yes.
From the AFC.
I know. The AFC is tough. I mean, really tough to pick teams because they are all over the place.
Give me the one that the other defense you keep mentioning, and I thought it was a really smart thing you said. The other AFC team you talked about. They're not even leading their division right now, but they've got that good defense. You were talking about Houston earlier.
Oh, Houston. Oh my God, they got a great defense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this afternoon and tonight, we've talked about a lot of teams.
Yeah. And you said that you were like, what about the Texans?
Yes. And their defense is great because I saw their defense maul
the Bills.
The Bills.
Yeah. Maul. Yes. It was a good word. It was a good word.
No, they mauled them. And I'm going, what? I knew they were good, but they looked
unstoppable. Yeah.
Yes.
And now they get CJ Stroud back, presumably
this week, I think. We don't know.
They say that maybe, probably, but nothing's confirmed as of the moment of this recording. But they likely get CJ Stroud back this week. They're going to need to. They still have 2 matchups left with Indianapolis, so they have a very achievable path to winning the division, especially after Indianapolis now lost to Kansas City. So they have the Chiefs. They showed some of the weaknesses for Indianapolis, and Indianapolis's schedule is very unfavorable. So if you're I'm looking at the Texans, and I'm like, she's not wrong. If they just need a little bit. Talk about a team that needs a run game. Like they need some consistency. Woody Marks has been great. Nick Chubb, Woody Marks, kind of but it feels like when you have, when CJ Stroud is at his best, they have a little bit of run bounce with that too.
I've learned one thing this year.
What have you learned?
That running back.
Running backs matter?
A lot. Mm-hmm. And I'm really hoping, I put my plug in here, that Breece Hall, I'm sorry, from the Jets.
Okay.
Because his stepfather played for the Chiefs and he wanted to come to the Chiefs and they couldn't work out a trade, he would be ideal for my Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, I will. Should we call Brett Veach? Get Brett Veach on the phone now.
I'm hoping he watches this.
Of course, Brett Veach watches it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he?
Okay.
He doesn't have anything better to do.
Right.
Can't imagine what else he would be doing right now.
But I think he'd be, and he also said that he wanted to go to the Chiefs.
Okay. Well, maybe he ends up going from a green team to a red team.
Right.
Very Christmas
but he wants a lot of money.
Everyone wants a lot of money. I want a lot of money.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, no. So at least we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah.
The market dictates the price.
And not only it's an exciting year, even though
it is an exciting year.
It is because we don't know. I mean, who's going to end up in the Super Bowl? We don't. I mean, I'm hesitant when I say, but
okay. I mean, I like your pick of the Rams. I think it's a good pick. It's not who I'd pick, but I like it.
I know, I do. And Matthew Stafford, him being a gunslinger.
You like the gunslinging.
I do.
Yeah.
He's been that way 17th year in the league.
Just coming out with stats here. I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a long time. Yeah.
Okay. So one question.
Yes.
So Numbers Game has some, sometimes it gives like little help to people and things that they care about.
Okay. Yeah.
And your dad, my grandpa.
Yes.
He liked the ponies, yeah?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. And go a little bit. Tell about Grandpa, because Grandpa's, I feel they should know about Grandpa. About him liking the ponies? Well, Grandpa liked a lot of fun things. Yeah, but he was cool. My dad loved the ponies, and he loved, in fact, when he retired from his business, he took a little side job, and he worked at a racetrack near where I grew up. What was it called? And the racetrack? The Toledo. Oh, it was in Toledo? Toledo, Ohio. Yeah. Okay. All right. And which is across the border
reporter from Monroe, Michigan. He would go down there, and he was the security guy, when the horses came in and all that kind of stuff. He loved to be around the horses. He loved the whole thing. And he was a betting kind of guy. So,
yeah, he was.
And he loved the ponies.
He loved the ponies. Did you know, I learned this recently, you're supposed to bet on the horse that poops in the paddock.
I never knew that.
I was curious if Grandpa ever said that to you.
No, but I wonder if he did check the paddock.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. Because obviously.
Wow, where did you hear that?
Oh, I love the ponies too. I do.
Wow. Now this is something new. See, from here, I'm learning that she loves the ponies too.
I'm learning this.
I didn't know that you love the ponies though. Like that.
Yeah, no, it's fun. Like the Kentucky Derby, like all these things.
Yeah, that is real high class. We're talking about.
I mean, I've been to Santa Anita.
Yeah, well,
but Santa Anita's beautiful,
and I've been to Saratoga.
There you go.
With my aunt, Saratoga.
You went to your aunt took you to Saratoga.
Yeah, they love to gamble on horses too.
Really?
My mother's sisters. Yes.
Wow, both sides.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And I don't gamble much at all.
But much? Do you gamble? When do you?
I buy lottery tickets.
Oh, okay.
I buy lottery tickets. That's gambling, isn't it?
Sure. It's terrible odds. So.
Anyway.
All right. Well, do you have any more who's going to win MVP?
Oh boy, that's a hard one. I mean, you're giving me a really.
Well, you don't think Matthew Stafford's going to win it?
I think he's got a great chance.
Okay.
This year is the hardest year in the last 5 for me to say.
Last 5? More than that, I think.
Maybe more, but let's just.
Last 5 is not that long.
Okay, but it's hard. Matthew Stafford's he's got great numbers.
Okay.
And all the other ones that I
thought I was just giving you a layup to say Matthew Stafford. Anyway, all right, we're going to play one last thing. Okay. You have to say the first, this can be dangerous with my mother. So first word that comes to mind when I say a thing. So I'm if I said something like, lions, you'd probably say Barry Sanders. Whatever the first.
Got it. I was going to say tigers. Okay.
Okay. But the first thing that comes to mind.
Sport-wise.
Well, it doesn't. Your answer doesn't have to be sport-wise.
Okay. Got it.
The things I say will be sport-wise.
Okay.
So let's start with an easy one. Chiefs.
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. Giants.
Matthias Kiwanuka.
Okay. I knew she was going to say that one. Dolphins. Don't think, just answer.
Don.
Don? You mean Dan Marino?
Yeah, that's it. Dan Marino. You made me say, I knew I was close.
Don.
Dan Marino.
Don Marino.
I was close.
His brother, his evil brother, Don.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay.
Bears.
Doesn't
have to be a player. You can say anything that comes to mind. Bears.
Okay, Bears.
Quick.
Lions.
Okay. Okay. JJ McCarthy.
Quarterback.
That's good. Next one. All right. Tom Brady.
The GOAT.
Okay. I thought you were going to bring up the dog cloning.
Oh, the GOAT.
Yeah, no, I get it. But I thought you were going to bring up the dog.
I know. Well, I did. I thought I better shape up.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Steve Young.
Quarterback for the 49ers, and he was very good.
That's not the first thing. Nothing comes to mind. Just not his job or whatever.
Mormon.
Oh, okay. See, that's better.
Yeah.
That's better. Okay. Raiders.
I'm trying to think of.
Don't think. Stop thinking.
Okay.
Raiders.
Black and gold. Silver. Black and silver.
Okay. Black and silver. Okay. All right. My game isn't working well. I thought you'd say more weird things.
Like what?
I don't know. You say weird things sometimes.
I know, but I was trying to. I have to be so quick, and my mind doesn't always come up with something really quick.
Yes, it does. You're censoring it because I can see you trying to think. How about we go Michael Irvin?
The greatest guy I know.
Yeah.
I love Michael Irvin.
What's not to love? We love her.
We do. And he married my daughter.
No. That sounds the way
What? What?
The way you said that makes it sound like I'm married to him.
Oh, no. She's not married to him. He married you.
He was the officiant.
Okay.
He did marry me, but he didn't. I'm not married to him. He was the officiant at my wedding.
Got it.
That's how you. All right.
Yes.
Michael Irvin.
He was the officiant at.
Okay. Now you're just rehearsing.
Okay.
Lines. Okay.
All right. Michael Irvin, great cowboy.
Now you're totally changing the. Anyway,
I did. I got
whatever.
it.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see if I have one more for you.
Okay.
I'm not trying to trick you.
No.
Travis Kelce.
Charm bracelets.
Okay. That's good. I thought you were going to go with something because she told me earlier that she'd like to be a Swiftie.
I am going to join the Swifties.
You're going to join the Swifties? Okay.
Yeah, I like her.
Okay. No, I like her too. But before you told me that you wanted to be a Swiftie, which is like a very specific, like.
Right. But the bracelet.
You're going to get a bracelet.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. I love his bracelet that he.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any more? Like, what is one thing that everyone needs to know about your thoughts on week 13 in the NFL?
I have my fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
it's a pretty big week, though, in general.
Listen, a lot of things could be closer to deciding who's going to be in, the
playoffs
or not. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're moving already. The other days, a few teams moved into different positions.
I know. It's crazy.
But it is fun this way, too. I like that. I mean, it's fun, but it's crazy, too.
All right. Well, fun and crazy. Perfect. You nailed it. Good job. High five. Good job. I love you.
I love you, too. She's my girl.
Oh, thanks, Mama.